So I can't find a middle ground for either like a scripted heart to heart with myself or a completely unscripted winging it, saying gibberish in front of this camcorder thing. So I'm going to read what I just wrote. It's terribly written. It's like fragmented thoughts, but I just have to like get it out because it'll never be as good as my writing should be. So, that little girl you exposed, she died. And if you find yourself fueling the exposed flames as self-assurance, just remember, the wanted results were already achieved many years ago for those same reasons he holds dear today. You may suspect I cannot die, but I already did. I'm sure there's someone out there who can confirm that single detail. I was fully exposed to my community and the social justice rage by way of young people, and they won. I died. That's all there is to it. I had it coming. I deserved it. What did I expect to happen? No one cares anyways. A gesture of taking out the trash some have even commented. When the sun rose the next morning, no one could have anticipated the biggest loose end of them all. Me. Not God me, just little dweeb me. The town's trash disposal's effectiveness had failed and was exposed, and that's what the outside world saw. This is what you're up against as a community, not me. At this point, I assumed social justice was conveniently backed by legal justice, and so on and so forth. By now, not only had you unsuccessfully eradicated me, you successfully ensured my complete ejection from every relationship I took part in. Oh, the picture that must have been painted in a desperate attempt to bury the loose end. But the world didn't realize what the dust was all about. Not yet, at least. Who admits to murder if the girl doesn't stay dead? I'll try to navigate this without defending my right to life, just yet. So maybe social justice hadn't subsided in its efforts to get one more tramp. Was she coming to her? Especially not after the townspeople looked like desperate LA wannabes and college kids like racist, privileged, rapists, and enablers. The Golden State would have none of this murky, jerky business tainting the lives of the other promising few. I get it. I'm a firm believer in prioritizing the greater good, too. So this is where I interject with a formal apology for the seemingly very personal internal conflict I arise in you. While the Lord of the Flies style of campaigning is an unfit social construct when dealing with heartbreaks and creative doors that got shut in your face due to personal misconduct, I do want to acknowledge my provocative ways and reckless inconsiderations, including the belittling of people my entire life. Being an over-the-top, entitled bitch face is too much a part of who I was as a teenager. I get it. And while the last 6 years have proven to be testing for me, I know most of you are either affected by or feel moved to take part in debating the ethical dilemmas that arose. As did I. Now, I'm asking for a leap of faith from you. After all, this is the challenge given to you as a people, to accept me. Accept that I hear your intolerance for my reckless, incomprehensible ways. Accept that if I was loved in my past life, it was for a legitimate reason. Accept that you have killed me. Accept that with that death died everything about me. Accept that the goodness in my soul's core is lost but not gone. Accept that I've been hardened by the unrecognizable task of coming back to life. Accept that I understand your opinions of me. Accept that I am secretly my toughest critic. Accept that there's a darkness so deep it will blind you. Except there's a light so powerful that I woke up. Now let's leap back into retrospect with the brighter lens today has provided me. I suggest you only ever navigate this tale with today's brighter lens, unless you want to get stuck on a spiraling loop of causation and justifications of all sorts. As I grieve the girl that was laid to rest by the court of her peers, I reflect on what aspects of her can finally be at peace. Her spirit spiraled out of her body too often. Now it's home, with a more in-depth understanding. That's telling. With a more in-depth understanding of her true nature. Her lack of plan regarding transforming compassion to action have been restructured and are being guided. Her complete misuse and disrespect of the temple she was provided with have developed full circle to becoming the temple she will provide for you with. Her seeming dissatisfaction with her privilege is now a genuine overwhelm for her blessings. Her epic, reckless, and unfiltered style of speech will Her epically reckless and unfiltered style of speech now advocate God's love. Where do you fit into the brighter lens? Instead of seeing it as not getting away with killing dweeb me, you in truth did not succeed in your chance to kill God. An effort that predates Billboard's Hot 100 by some time. But that's just the obvious perk. I am not being redeemed here for who I was, or even currently who I am, as much as I am being made of use for your benefit. Please believe that above all else. The lifestyle I will lead is undefined, so get the dollar signs out of your hateful eyes. I have lost everything important to me in life, with no way of buying it back. I must simply start building, and I have been doing so without realizing it for some time now. Rebuild my humanity, my body, my soul, my mind is a lost cause, but that's okay, guys. And this fantastical child might be the only normal relationship I'll ever have for the rest of my time here with you. That may be the saddest truth. My saddest truth. Given I'd rather abandon hopes of normalcy than be tied to that hope with a love so undeniable, I envy my colon for being her constipated pillow before my cheeks ever get to feel the warmth of hers.